My name is David Omale. I'm from the University of Nigeria, Hot Protein Project. We advocate for research, innovation, and education into alternative proteins. We also try to create awareness and build a community of students that work together to advance hot protein research and innovation in Africa. So the Hot Protein Project is an initiative of GFI, the Good Food Institute, and GFI works globally around the world to promote science, policy, and industry into alternative proteins. So like I mentioned, research, innovation, we believe that to build the plant-forward systems or plant food future in Africa, there needs to be a lot of research and innovation that needs to go into it. Research and innovation doesn't just help us to look at what's beneficial in plant foods in terms of nutrition. It also helps us in advocacy. It helps us to reach out to those in government, the policymakers, to promote policies or make policies that can support plant-forward systems in Africa. Yeah.
Amazing. And can you talk a little bit more about mobilizing students? Why do you think it's important to specifically support students, universities, and the youth in this movement in Nigeria, but also across Africa? Why do you think this is important here?
I think the simplest thing is, or the simple thing for me, is to see that students are the future. Students are going to be future leaders. Students are going to form the larger parts of your future workforce, and we know that Africa's population, particularly that of Nigeria, is projected to grow in the coming decades. So advocating or carrying out advocacy amongst the student population is very important, because they will make policies. Policies are also going to affect them. They are also going to be the ones that are vibrant enough to make that change. So it's very important that we center our advocacy among students. Also, students carry out research. So when you see how adventurous students are in trying to make change through their research, through working with their supervisors or their professors to do something new, to transform their environment for the better, you will understand that, okay, students are very important in our work, in our advocacy. Yeah.
Amazing. And building off that point, what is one piece of advice that you would give to students who are looking to find the values-aligned career path? Maybe they want to work in plant-based food, they don't really know where to start. How would you recommend getting started? Because you have such an amazing story, you've done so much cool work. How did you find those opportunities for yourself, and what would you recommend to other students looking to get involved?
Okay, well, I think the first thing is to, try to have an open mind, first of all. When you have an open mind, trying to get different perspectives, then the next thing you should do is go and check out different resources about what plant-based foods or what hot proteins is all about. Try to understand how important it is in terms of nutrition, in terms of the climate, the environment. What's it going to do for future populations? For someone like me coming from the EA community, we talk a lot about not just animal welfare, we also look at long-termism and all that. And you can understand that as a student, you are also going to grow up, you might want to get a family and all that. So you need to look at what's the long-term implication of having a broken food system and all that. So I believe for students that would want to get involved, the best thing is go online, look at these resources, have an open mind, first of all, like I said, check out all these resources, try to get the right information. Then from there, you start exploring opportunities. We have a lot of organizations doing great advocacy work, like yours truly, Plant Futures Initiative. You can also go and check the GFI's websites, look at the Hot Protein Project, and look at a lot of other programs that are involved in this. Then you can also see a pathway there. And another thing is volunteer. I know sometimes the whole academic work can be so stressful, can be so frustrating and all that, but try to volunteer with organizations, learn what they've done, learn what has worked, what hasn't worked. Sometimes you also learn on the job too. You make mistakes and all that, but the good thing is when you make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes and you move further. So have an open mind, try to explore resources, and also try to volunteer.
One last question related more to plant-based diet and eating. So I'm curious one misconception I hear a lot is that people are scared to do it. They think it's too difficult, or they think that meat is supposed to be part of our diet and animal products. But in the African context, plant-based eating is actually a huge part of the history of Africa's diet. Like, it's so integral. Like, it has always, been very plant-centered, plant-forward. Can you speak a little bit to that? Because some people have this image that it's meat and animal products, but I think it's actually the opposite, the native diet here.
Yeah, well, I think what I would say is we need to look at how things has happened in the past, like how society has evolved to this point. One thing people have a problem with is they don't try to study how our diet has changed through history. Or should I say it's more like a problem of recency bias. People feel like, okay, trying to eat meat has always been part of our culture and all that. So the truth is, when you try to look at how Africans or Nigerians consumed meat in the past, it is not as it is today. So when their stats, their trends, you study to show that as our society has gotten more urbanized over time, the rates at which meat consumption has increased is quite stunning. So one thing we should understand is society evolves. So if we look at how our diet has changed over time to become more meat-based and all that, we shouldn't find it weird that's shifting from how it is right now to a plant-based one that has more impact or more benefits to our health, to the environment, to our food systems and all that. It should be a mystery and all that. So let's like I said in my earlier point, let's try and have an open mind. Let's try and see food as something that evolves over time, and let's try and see that whatever choice we make for our diet, it also impacts our environment and future generations too. So the major thing is try and study history. How has history evolved? Did we need all these things in the past to survive? Do we really need them now? And what choices are we making for ourselves and future generations? So I believe these are the things we need to talk about. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.